Menopause does encourage weight gain, and it can start as early as your 30s. Hi, I'm Dr. Becky from drbeckyfitness.com. I'm a college instructor of the science of nutrition, and in this video I'm going to explain why menopause encourages weight gain in your lower body in your 30s and 40s, and in your belly in your 50s and beyond. Now, it all starts with hormones, and the hormones we're going to talk about are estrogen and progesterone. Progesterone is linked to ovulation, which is when the egg is produced in the middle of the cycle. So at the beginning of your cycle, for the first 2 weeks, progesterone is very low. And then after ovulation, it skyrockets. Estrogen, on the other hand, is always present throughout the month, but it takes kind of a roller coaster path through the month, going up and down. Both progesterone and estrogen are mainly produced by your ovaries, but you do have some secondary sources. Both of them can be produced in the adrenal glands, which are tiny little glands that sit on top of your kidneys. Estrogen can also be produced by your fat cells, which become significant as our story goes on here. Now, in a woman's early 30s, she will enter the first stage of menopause, which is called early perimenopause. But chances are she doesn't know that anything's different. That's because one of the main things happening in early perimenopause is the missing of ovulation every couple of months or so. So if we think about it, if ovulation is not happening in a month, well, what happens to progesterone? Well, it's not going to skyrocket like it normally does, and it's going to stay low the entire month long. So in relation to that, estrogen is very high compared to the progesterone that's being produced. That creates a state called estrogen dominance. And one of the main symptoms of estrogen dominance is weight gain in the hips and the thighs. So that's the first time that we see menopause and weight gain associated with each other. And it happens in the early to mid to late 30s. Now, as a woman continues to get older, she goes into late perimenopause. This is right before menopause. And at this stage in the game, her periods can be all over the place, right? So 1 month she might have a very heavy period that lasts for 3 weeks at a time, and then for 2 or 3 months in a row she might miss a period. As the years go on, those missed periods become more and more frequent until there's no more periods happening. When a year passes, then she has reached menopause. The surprising thing about menopause is that it's a one-day event. It is actually defined as the anniversary of your last menstrual cycle. So after that day, after you've reached menopause, then you are now considered a postmenopausal woman. And at this point, you're not ovulating and you're not having your period. So estrogen and progesterone are both newly low. They're at a new low level for the rest of your life. Now, your body's not quite ready to give up on estrogen just yet. So it wants to turn to its secondary source. That secondary source, your fat cells. So after menopause, your body likes to carry around a little bit more fat because it's giving it just a little bit of that estrogen that it's been missing. Now, it's never going to be able to produce as much. The fat cells will never produce as much estrogen as your ovaries did. So that new low level of estrogen that's in your body causes a metabolic shift in the way your fat is distributed. No longer do you deposit it on your hips and your thighs. Now it gets placed onto your belly, and that's why belly fat is such a problem for many women after menopause. So menopause and weight gain, they are certainly linked, but they don't have to be your fate. If you want to fight back and control weight gain after menopause, then I did cover that in another video, and I'll link to that here. Or better yet, head on over to drbeckyfitness.com, where I have an entire category dedicated to menopausal weight loss. Thanks for watching.